me spit on you with a right remold into gold and area
What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the Weapon Collective. My name's Jeff.
My name is Jeff. It's Jefe, man.
And once again, down in the Gat Cave, got a pretty cool new gun that we're gonna go over, and then we're gonna get out on the range. So I ordered this gun back at the end of 2024, and it just showed up a few days ago. So I've been anxious about getting this thing, and it finally showed up. And that is the Wilson Combat Division 77 Project 1. So this thing is a fantastic looking gun. I love the look of this, and I will say I'm not a big Wilson Combat guy. I do have a few of their pistols, but I rarely ever shoot them. But this thing caught my eye, and I definitely wanted to try this out. I'll just kind of take you through it. This is a 5-inch pistol, and the main thing that caught my eye, besides just the color scheme on this, is unlike my other Wilson Combat guns, this thing is ported, and it has 2 vertical ports at the 90 degree up top, and then kind of a compensator style port on the nose of the pistol. And then I have it set up with the Trijicon SRO, and then this is a Modlite PL350, and we'll get to that in a little bit, but let's go through the rest of the gun first. So it does come with 3 18-round magazines, and then there is a downside to that because these are proprietary mags. And if you watch my channel, you probably know how I feel about proprietary mags on this platform. I do not like them. So we'll see how those work. And then PVD coating on the slide, the barrel, it's in this bronze, rose gold kind of color. It looks really nice. And it does have one interesting feature, which is this RPG guide rod. Very interesting how it comes to a taper. RPG is an appropriate name. And the reason they did that is for easy access of removing the guide rod. It makes it that you don't have to remove the reverse plug to get that out. I don't know if that's anything I've ever really wanted in a pistol, but I guess to have it is nice. And then a whole bunch of really cool serrations on this thing. Really big, deep serrations in the rear of the slide. For me, that's really not an issue because I don't rack the slide like that. But if you do, there are some very deep, good serrations in the back. I really like this front taper on the slide that allows you to really do nice press checks. And then it has some window cuts up top and just a really finely crafted pistol here. Everything else has a flat trigger, and it's like 3.5, 4.5 pounds. Dry fire, this thing feels definitely heavier than my other 2011s. We'll see how I like that. One other thing that I really like is the delete of the grip safety. I definitely am a fan of that. And then, unlike many of my other 2011s, this has an external extractor. The only other 2011 I think that has that is the Staccato HD. So that is a more robust extractor. Does have this awesome tri-top cut with these windows, which I really like. You know, it's heat dissipation, slide lightning, all that good stuff. And then it does have the chamber fluting and full barrel fluting, which really looks good, and also heat dissipation and lightening it up. Ambi thumb safeties, very nice. And I do really just like the overall aesthetic of this. I love the little Wilson Combat logo in the grip. And like I've said, I'm gonna keep saying it, it is a good looking gun. The detail on this thing, like, I'm not gonna point it right at the camera, but Division 77 right around the barrel, that looks cool. And just the whole overall aesthetic on this is gorgeous. Oh, and I guess it's worth mentioning as well that the way that you do mount this optic is they made it that it's compatible with almost every, or the overwhelming majority of optic footprints on the market today. It comes with little pin inserts. It's like Strike Industries. If you've ever seen what Strike Industries does with their little pins, it's like that, but done really well. So you put the pins in there and then it is just mounting, so you're not getting, it's not shipping with plates, and that seems like a really nice option. And if you've watched the channel, you know how I feel about manufacturers shipping their gun with plates. They should definitely be doing that. So having a system that is just, has a wide acceptance for all the optic footprints out there, like I said, vast majority of them, I think is a great feature. Then let's get into some of the things that I don't love about the gun. So that's gonna start with the magazines that we went over, and then this rail. So it's not a full dust cover, and I run Surefire X300s on most all of my guns, pretty much all my guns, except this one, for some reason, I cannot mount an X300. And I've tried switching the little insert in the light. I've tried Type Bs, Type Us, and when I compare it to my other Wilson that does take X300s, you can see that the rail, the Picatinny is just too thick. The rail's too short with the space to the trigger guard, and then they made the Picatinny too fat. Unless I'm really missing something, I don't know how you would get an X300 on here and have it stay. You could take the insert out and have it walk off the end of the gun, or you just run a mod light, I guess. So very disappointed there. I would very much, not only just to run an X300, I would just think it would look better with the full rail. I like full tactical rails on all my 2011s. And then lastly, they say it has an integrated magwell, and that's a bit of a stretch to call that a magwell in my opinion. But I'm the type of guy that likes a big flared magwell. This thing looks more like just a slight extension, but we'll see how that works when I'm trying reloads. So other than that, I mean, it is a gorgeous gun. It does have nice stipple on these G10 grips, and it's just kind of it's a weird place that this occupies in my collection, because it's definitely out of the ordinary of the typical 2011 double stack 1911. It has some unique features, like the grip is definitely different, and it just feels just slightly different enough that it is not, I wouldn't call it a 2011. It's just it's very close, but it's just a Wilson Combat, really. I think it's almost its own thing, but operates the same, but just different enough that it's unique. So this is the Wilson Combat Division 77 Project 1. Let's get out on the range and see how this thing shoots. Okay, we're gonna start out testing this Wilson Combat, and first drill we're gonna run is the plate rack. So see how this goes. 4.33, not good, not bad. That felt good. That was a 3.74. So that was a 4.17. It's all my draw that's killing me with this. I'm not used to this holster, so. But my draw is not super fast anyways. That's where I need the most work. .352. That was the best one. Horrible draw. But that was a 415, so not the fastest. If I would have got that draw out the first time, maybe. But I don't know. The really, I don't love this holster, or not used to this holster. That's part of it. So it's a lot of the time on this is my draw is slow, which needs a ton of work. And then shooting it feels good. Like you can feel that the ports really working. It's return to zeros really fast. I wish it had a magwell that I was kind of countering the muzzle rise with that magwell. So it'll be interesting to shoot this, because what we're going to do is I'm going to shoot this and then kind of run the same drills with a gun in a similar price point, set up how I like it, and we'll see if there's a difference. Or maybe it's me, maybe it's the gun. We'll find out. Let's move on to the next drill. Okay, next drill we're going to do is some 1R1s. So we'll get an empty mag after a few of the not slide lock, and then once I have an empty mag, we'll do some slide lock reloads as well. So start off and see how that is, because I'm very interested with this gun particularly, you know, with this integrated magwell that this gun has. See how fast I can get reloads on this. Oh, bad habit there. So that felt okay. It was slow because I racked the slide when I didn't need to. So we'll get an empty mag and then we'll get to that point, but not fast either. Oh, they're going in better than I would actually have imagined, to be honest. That was a 398, so let's see. Oh, so that was 4. If I can get my sweatshirt out of the way. .372. Just little fumbles. It's mainly the draw, man. .310. So I think mainly it's just reps. It's just getting progressively better for the most part, but just do a couple slide lock reloads. God, I didn't want to go into battery on its own. Okay, so now I'm just at 50 yards to a piece of C-zone steel, and then that one's probably 35, something like that. So just kind of gonna just see how some intermediate distance feels with this thing. Let's see, I have about a mag and a half, so just kind of plink through these. You have to aim so low. That is nuts. I'm not even on the steel. So this is zeroed at 10 yards. And I have to aim below the target to hit it, which is weird. I'd zero almost all of my guns at 10 yards, and I don't have to aim that low. So, and I've confirmed zero with this gun. Yeah, I mean, that's weird to be that low. I don't know what it would be in the gun, but it's so low. So that is strange, but I mean, I zeroed this gun at the exact same time as the next gun we're going to use at the same distance. So we'll see if I have to aim that low, and then I confirm zero with this thing and it is dead on. And I get that I have to be a little lower at 50 yards, but not off target. So unless there's something with the porting that really makes it shoot low, interesting. or I'm really yanking it, but I don't think I'm consistently yanking it that hard. So let's reload. This thing, past 10 yards, this thing sucks. I don't know. Okay, so now that we shot that Wilson Combat Division 77 Project 1, I'm going to compare it to another gun in a similar price point, which this is, I'm going to use the Staccato XC. It's comped, not ported, but 5-inch gun, similar in a lot of ways, except this one, I did swap out the stock Staccato grip to the new Atlas Staccato grip. So this thing feels really good. All I did was zero it, so I haven't shot this gun either. This will be the first shots through this one. Set up with same Trijicon SRO. This one does have the Surefire, and I can run the holster I like, and it does have a magwell. So we'll see if there's a noticeable difference to that Wilson Combat. .404. So I already felt better, but I got a bad grip. .370 with a miss. Jeez, that first one's killing me, dude. That first damn plate I can't get. That was a 393. Yep, 363 with a miss. .349, so 100th of a second faster. If that fastest with the Wilson was a 350, which, or 351, something like that. Oh, it's always one of them, right? Always one. Well, overall, I don't know. Maybe, I mean, the fastest one was with the XC, but they were pretty close. I shot pretty sloppy with the XC right there, but trying to go fast, sometimes I will do that. So let's see what the 1R1s do. Okay, so back to this range to do some 1R1s, see if there's any noticeable difference with the Staccato. 310 was the fastest with the Wilson. So let's see. Now that is one of the things that sucks, is having these full mags. You really got to jam them in there. Holy Staccato mags. .328. .290. .311. .313. .354. So I think it's faster. you know, it's definitely, the fast ones are definitely faster, but some of it might be reps, just that it feels better to me because it's what I'm used to. But I wouldn't go changing guns, that's for sure. So I definitely prefer this platform, the 2011 platform, over the Wilson Combat, and it was faster for sure. Okay, so we're back at the 50, going that C-zone size steel, if I could talk. And this is interesting because the Wilson Combat was shooting way high. I've confirmed 0 on it 3 times, and let's see what the Staccato does. 0'd at the exact same distance, exact same ammo, everything. Both brand new guns, and let's see if I have to aim as low. Definitely not. Huh. Okay, so I did have to aim low with this at 50, but nowhere, I was still on the plate to make a hit. Thought it was maybe a little left. Something weird with the Wilson Combat at that 50 yards that made it really hard to hit. Back from the range, and I shot the Wilson Combat, and I also shot that Staccato. Let's go over shooting this Wilson Combat Project 77 Division 1. I wish this gun shot as well as it looked. I'm somewhat not thrilled with this gun. And there were aspects of it that I shot it just fine. Everything was totally acceptable. And then as you saw, or as you will see, once I got out to 50 yards, this thing did some weird stuff. And it was basically shooting really, really high. And I shot it, confirmed 0 multiple times, and I did 0 this thing at 10 yards. Perhaps I should 0 at 15, but I had 0'd it at 10 yards, confirmed 0 multiple times, and it was shooting so high at 50 yards. Blake behind the camera, he shot it, was shooting high for him, so it wasn't just me. And I really am at a loss for why it's doing that. I'm not aware of the porting or having any effect that would make it shoot that high. It is possible there is a break-in period to get this barrel up to snuff to shoot what they claim it's capable of. And I checked the optic, it is nice and secure. So I really don't know what was going on there. And then I shot the Staccato, and you know, I didn't shoot great today, but I shot the Staccato better than I did the Wilson Combat. And we 0'd both guns at the same distance, same ammo on the same day. By no means does the Staccato require aiming that low to hit that target. So I'm a little confused as to what was going on with this gun, but something definitely was strange. Now, the recoil impulse shooting at 10 to 15 yards, it's a nice shooting. The recoil impulse feels really good, like a typical ported gun. It's nice, it's fast, it's comfortable in hand, but it's just getting out to distance. it was doing some really strange stuff. Now, other than that, the magwell, I kind of had some reservations about what they call a magwell, because like I said, I like a big, huge tactical flared magwell, but really when I was shooting 1R1s, this thing, I was able to get that mag right in there, no problem, and the magwell was totally acceptable. So that's just my perception. I like the look of a flared magwell too, so, but actually in practice, it was perfectly acceptable. That may be partially due to the magazine size, because these magazines are significantly smaller than a Staccato mag. But they went right in, no problem. Now, let's talk about the rail on this thing. In the intro, I talked about not being able to get an X300 on here. So let's take a look at this other Wilson Combat, the Wilson Combat EDC X9. And you'll see the two different rails and how the Picatinny differs in size. Now, why they went with the thick Picatinny, and I really can't answer that. I don't know why you would do that, especially with the Surefire X300 being the most widely used light out there. I found that very strange, but I did see a GBRS video where they had an X300 on this gun. So maybe I'm doing something wrong, but I switched the insert. I've tried the Type B, the Type U, and neither of those I can get to fit this gun with either insert. So I don't know, maybe they took the insert out, and I have no answer for that. But I just wish they would do a full dust cover with the tactical rail on there and not have that be an issue. Trigger on this gun, it's, like I said, a little heavier, but it's totally acceptable. I don't think you're gonna see this gun on the channel in the future very much. This thing is probably gonna stay in a safe for quite some time. I'm not that thrilled with it. I will put some rounds through it and get to a proper break-in and see if that kind of sorts things out with the barrel. But my initial impression is I love the look of it. I think it's a good gun collection gun. It looks pretty, and it's just a unique, cool gun. But as far as taking this thing out and shooting it, I think it's pretty much seen its time on the range with me. But that's, if things sort out with the barrel and this thing breaks in and starts to shoot, that might change. But as of now, I'm a little disappointed. As I said in the intro, I'm not a Wilson Combat guy, and this, to be honest, made me less of a Wilson Combat guy. Now, there's probably some people that just cringe hearing that. I know there's a big fan base for Wilson Combat, but I'm just not one of them. So the other gun we shot today was obviously the Staccato XC that I put the Atlas grip kit on. Now, this gun I love. And like I said, I didn't shoot great today, but I shot this gun better. Now, nominally, like it's coming down to tenths of seconds, but that adds up. And you can throw an X300 on here. This is just the platform I prefer by far. And some of that, I'm a little biased, I'll say it. You know, it's like I like the 2011 proper platform much better than the Wilson Combat. And I knew that going into it, but this just really confirmed it. Like, this just feels, I'm at home right here. This feels so much better. And I'm just a XC fan, a Staccato fan, but I'm trying to be as open-minded as possible. If I took this Wilson Combat out today and it just shredded, I would tell you. I'd say the XC just got whooped out there, and that just wasn't the case. But especially with this Atlas grip, man, I love this thing. And it shot like I expected it to. At 50 yards, I had to aim a little low, but it was making center hits. And it's like every other Staccato except for the grip, and just feels fantastic. So really, it's got that big magwell I like. 2011 mags, they have their own little set of issues, as you'll see. You can drop them, and if they land just right, ammo will spill out. And even with all those things, the issues with the 2011 mag, I'll still take a Staccato mag. And part of that is just that it's so nice to have one magazine that I can use across all of my guns. It's so much better than having a proprietary mag and having to deal with going to the range, making sure you have those mags, buying more mags. So I just like everything about this platform more. That is basically my first impressions of the Wilson Combat Division 77 Project 1 and of the XC with the Atlas grip kit. So please tune in for future videos and comment, like, share, and most importantly, subscribe. I'm Jeff for the Weapon Collective, reminding you, keep your weapons collected and keep collecting your weapons. I'll catch you next time.